Hello, and welcome back to Sonic Colors Way. In this part we're going to, with probably one of the most well-known Sonic Colors levels thanks to the Generations remake, it's Planet Wisp. And contrary to my thoughts on Planet Wisp in Generations, I think in Colors it's actually a pretty fun level. What about you, Steve?
Yeah, it's pretty enjoyable. It's a shame that, similar to Generations, a lot of it is in the factory, considering the rest of Planet Wisp. It's all green, really pretty.
It is. It looks absolutely beautiful when it's outside. This is actually the first time I've got this section here, by the way. But yeah, it looks really good when it's outside. The more factory settings do get a bit sort of repetitive. I don't know whether it's me or Stephen, have you noticed any similarities between this level and the aesthetic of a level from a certain upcoming Nintendo game?
Oh yes, I have noticed that.
I forget what the level's called, but there's one level in Super Mario Odyssey that looks exactly like this. It has a section that's outside and grassy, and it also has a red base sort of area to it. It's fucking Planet Wisp, I don't even care. Like, there must be some sort of nod to it.
I mean, it even looks like it has the huge structure with like the sort of flying saucer top to it, in a way. That's the only way I can describe the shape of it.
It's got that sort of alien planet vibe to it a little bit, hasn't it? Chris, have you seen anything of Odyssey yet, mate?
No, I haven't. No.
It looks like it might be what sells me on the Switch.
Yeah, we're going to have to show you it because every trailer that's been shown for it, it looks better and better somehow.
Oh, is it a bit like 3D Mario?
It's basically looks like a follow-on to 64 in a way.
And Sunshine.
Yeah, and Sunshine to maybe a lesser extent Galaxy. It's that sort of approach. It's not like, the more either 2D Mario or 3D Land sort of approach. It's more the traditional, well, I say traditional, more like the 64-esque, like, you go into all these different levels, you got the different missions in the levels and stuff.
Yeah, I did see that a long time ago and everyone seemed to think it looked good.
It's like, I remember seeing YouTube comments saying, I hope Nintendo doesn't fuck this up, and I immediately thought, this is a mainline Mario game, and you're worried about Nintendo fucking it up.
Yeah, that's where they've been most consistent on it. Although, like, saying that Sunshine has its issues, and I get why people don't like Sunshine that much. But if you look at, like, this looks like it has the same production value to it as, like, Galaxy. And Galaxy was never really my thing. Maybe I need to put a bit more time into it and, appreciate it properly, but you've got to respect the, like, level of just, like, care and love that was put into Galaxy, haven't you? Because, like, it looks beautiful, it runs at 60, it's just got all these really well-developed worlds to it. Music as well, the music's fucking great, and I think the music in Odyssey is going to be going with the Mario Kart 8 sort of direction with music, which I'm going to be so fucking happy to hear more of.
Plus, Odyssey has potentially one of the best themes ever.
Yes, they've got that vocal theme, haven't they? Which is like, I don't think they've ever done that with Mario before.
No, they haven't. I think it's called Jump Up Superstar.
Yeah, and it's actually from Pauline's perspective.
Yeah.
Who is now the, like,
Mayor of New Donk City.
Yes, New Donk City. I fucking love that. But yeah, I will say the environment for New Donk City is one of the things that impressed me most because, like, obvious Sonic Adventure comparison, like, it's obviously gonna be there, and it is moving a cartoony character into the real world, and it does sort of resemble Station Square in certain parts. But, like, just seeing that in that sharp HD, I think it's like an upscaled 720p admittedly, but it still looks really sharp from what I've seen of it. I really am looking forward to that game, just because, like, it's a Mario game that's got me excited before it comes out, and it's not Mario Kart, and that rarely happens. Like, for me, my Mario excitement is pretty much it starts and ends at Mario Kart, outside of, like, obviously Super Mario Land, which, best Mario platformer, I don't even care, it just fucking is. I hope you're not going to argue that.
What's the point? I can't force you to change your mind, even if it's wrong.
No, the reason why you don't want to argue me is because you know I'm right.
No, it's never going to happen.
Although saying that, I did actually play the sequel to Mario Land 2, 6 Golden Coins, a little while ago, and I did a playthrough of that with my friend Crazy Even. It's a really fun game. I know you've said you prefer it to Land 1 a little while ago, but I still prefer Land 1. I still think it just has more of that raw, fun appeal to it. But I can respect Land 2 for what it does, and I can respect Land 2 for having, also good presentation. It's got great music as well. It's got fun levels. I can respect them both. But yeah, we are starting to get deeper and deeper into the factory here. Although saying this, comparing this to the Generations one, it seems that even in this factory settings, there's still more focus on the grassy outdoor areas compared to the Generations one.
Yeah, it feels like there's a bit more of a merging here.
It does. I think what's kind of going on here is that this is very much an under construction factory, isn't it? So the factory's there. There's a lot of the gimmicks and that in play. There's the moving platforms and all that shit, the spike balls, all Eggman stuff. But also, it's not done yet. It's still the mountainsides, the grass, all that good shit. Whereas Generations felt more like the factory was either nearly done or done. It felt like a kind of bad future alternative, which is what held it back. And also the fact that the level in Generations in itself just isn't that fun to play through either.
Especially when you get to the end of it and it's just going up, isn't it?
Constantly grabbing the rocket Wisp.
Yeah, because you get that sort of crusher section, don't you? And it just comes down and down and down. There's not enough there to justify that sort of stuff. It just feels like you're dicking around towards the latter half of the level. And yeah, this was where I was gonna try and go the high route, then thought, fuck it.
I just suddenly thought to myself, it's really convenient that all of the Wisps have abilities that correspond with their appearance. Because what if the rocket Wisp happened to operate the way the cube Wisp should?
What if the rocket showed up in Starlight Carnival and nowhere else? You can just blast aimlessly off into space.
The cube Wisp operates the same way the rocket should. You use that. Gone. Where's Sonic gone? Well, he's suffocating in the vacuum of space now, children. And that's the end of colours. Eggman won.
Although, if we think about that with the Rocket Wisp, do you remember in Tropical Coast in Lost World where they had the rocket sections where I think it was during one of the bosses with the Master Zik where you would just be fighting him and then he'd jump off to another platform and you could either rocket in the right place and go to the other planet that he's landed on, or you could rocket in the wrong place and just blast off aimlessly into space and die.
I vaguely remember.
That got less insufferable after the patch, because remember the rocket was originally controlled with motion controls on the gamepad, and it just fucking, trying to aim where you wanted to go was quite the challenge.
I remember that section just a moment ago with the moving platforms. That did frustrate me a little bit when I went back to collecting the red rings.
Oh, I bet, yeah, because some of them are below that, aren't they?
Yeah, because it's just a bottomless pit.
Yeah, this game seems to have a bit of a love for small platforms, I've noticed. Platforms like that one just there, where you've got to make that very small specific jump to get it. And I realised the irony of me complaining that minutes after defending and gushing over Mario Land. Because that was Mario Land's kind of thing, wasn't it? That set it apart from Super Mario Bros. In that you had these tiny little blocks that you got to land on. Yeah, I've got to say, I love the fascination in that in pretty much any non-Sonic commentary, I end up derailing it into Sonic somehow. And then when we get to a Sonic commentary, I end up derailing it into Mario.
It's a shame that the majority of the time with Mario, it's almost always going to be praised, whereas with Sonic, it's like Marmite.
I don't know, see, the thing is, Sonic, I'm not going to deny that Sonic does get a lot of unfair criticism in that if you're a reviewer and you're writing your review of a Sonic game, you have this easy out of your first paragraph will be, in recent years, Sonic has struggled to stumble into 3D. Or, Sonic's had quite the troubled history since the infamous Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. Ignore the fact that that's 11 years old now, but you got to bring '06 up. And it's that kind of thing where that's your very easy, filler text, and that's kind of thing that gets parroted. But by the same token, Sega have done themselves no fucking favours, have they? The reason why people are able to rag on Sonic as much as they are is because the bad games probably outweigh the good.
Yeah, it's like with Sonic games, you either just... all you really need to say is whether it's good or bad this time. But then you've got all the crap games from the past that could just pad out your 10-minute review.
But it's even in written reviews, it's you got to get that, you got to put together a 200-word review, where you got 50 of them covered by talking about how bad Sonic's always been.
It's the review starts out all the way through, it hasn't even mentioned any of the past games, it's just talking about the current one they're reviewing. But then at the end it's this makes a good change considering.
Oh yeah, that's the recent one since Sonic Mania come out. There's war has changed, hasn't it? Now Sonic has his first ever good game. Have either of you played Mania yet?
No.
Because quite often I know Stephen with you, it's I make you play every new game as it comes out, but this one, because it's a digital game, I haven't been able to offload it on you quite as easily, although I am going to let you play it, because Sonic Mania is pretty fucking special.
It does look really good, and I do want to play it.
It's a really fucking fun game. It's got its own host of problems, but they're enough that you can look past and still have a good time with. I think it's mainly my beef with it is because I'm not very good at classic Sonic, though, to be fair. Although, speaking of critique and stuff, as well as the Sonic's troubled history, the other trope you notice amongst Sonic reviews is quite often the people playing are very bad at Sonic. There's even all the way back to I think when Unleashed first came out, there was that one particular IGN review where they clearly had no fucking clue how to play Sonic, and they were just playing it abysmally and talking about how the game just isn't responsive and shit. Unleashed, it's not very good in terms of its control and that. It has some issues. It has performance issues, it has frame rate issues which can make certain jumps and whatnot difficult. But you can at least do better than this. It's not unplayable bad, I think it's just Sonic has got that reputation, which again Sonic Team and Sega have completely earned. I just kind of wish criticism of Sonic games was held to a higher standard, and people would criticise it for the problems the games actually have rather than the problems that it doesn't have.
So I've just kind of imagined that all the reviewers are apparently a bunch of therapists that Sonic constantly goes to, and they keep bringing up his troubled past, even when something good happens to him.
Oh Christ, that's like the antithesis of what a therapist meant to be.
It's look, we know you've had trouble in the past, but he's just trying to get through it. He doesn't want to think about it anymore.
Oh yeah. Now, this is one of the sections of Planet Wisp that can be a bit annoying because it's just going up. I believe, if I recall correctly, I'm going to take a bit of a shortcut once I get that hover there. I imagine what a lot of people would do is they would try to, just keep going up with the hover. And, you can do that, or you can go over to the left here and you find this other route. Look, again, you do have to be reliant on the wisps, you got to spike your way up, which we haven't even talked about Spike yet. Spike is the spin dash. But, yeah, you can do that, and if you fall down at the right spot, going.
Cool.
It didn't take me lots of runs to pick up on that at all, I swear. This is one of the things, I mentioned earlier, it seems a lot harsher with S ranks and generations. That is admittedly because generations gives them out like fucking smarties, doesn't it? As long as you don't die, you've probably got an S ranking gens, outside of the missions, that is. But I believe we are getting closer to pretty good cutscene.
Oh, look whose sibling appeared.
Yeah, totally not rehash boss at all.
For a fact, these guys are getting harder and harder to beat.
You what?
Yeah. Now, here we go.
Incredible interstellar amusement park are, as
Let's stay quiet for the line.
owned properties of Eggman Enterprises and its subsidiaries. All unauthorized photography, video reproduction, or shutting down of generators is strictly prohibited. Thank you.
Eggman, I am going to save this planet, and I am going to free these aliens. No copyright law in the universe is going to stop me.
There we go. I love that so much. That is pretty much one of the most quotable, memeable lines on it from Sonic Colors.
That's what Mario thought when he saw Planet Wisp.
Basically, yeah.
I'm gonna make a good game out of this.
Yeah, Colors is fucking lit. I don't know, like Colors. I know Colors at the time got a lot of flack for being borrowing Galaxy's aesthetic to a certain point, but as a gameplay overall, I've played way more of Colors than I have with Galaxy. That's obviously my preference to
Colors
Sonic.
and Galaxy play completely differently. There's no comparison really, other than the fact that they happen to be on different planets. That's it.
There is. Well, it's just the general aesthetic, because there are some levels that, could pass for that. Although, it was Lost World that looked more like a bad
Yes.
Mario clone. Because Lost World, I feel, tried to do Galaxy while missing what made Galaxy good. In that, Galaxy used the whole gravity thing to its advantage to kind of make new original levels that bear that in mind, and they did all kind of cool level gimmicks with that. Lost World, however, it's got the old idea of having the curved surface, but it's basically just colours blocky platforming, but on a curved surface, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's not a curved surface, but they want you to keep going forward a lot.
And hold the boost. Oh, this is good as well.
Robot who can't
Maybe. That's between me and the robot. The important
Oh my god.
is free.
absolutely.
So, we can just forget about the whole talking to dead robot, right?
Nope.
They really want to overplay the joke, but it's overplayed in a way that's endearing. I don't even care.
But I've never seen you talk to a pile of mess.
It's the first time for everything, Tails. Just saying.